Hey, Nakai,
Hey, Blain.
I don't know if you know this, but you're sitting in my chair,
Yeah, it's really comfy.
but it's my chair.
What's yours is mine.
Don't start with me, lady. I even made you the last coffee pod.
We're out of coffee.
We're out of coffee. Well, for the Keurig, we got coffee I can grind up and make. But I've only had one cup of coffee this morning. Usually I'm on my second one by now.
I'm sorry.
We're out of coffee. Somebody's sitting in my chair. How's it going? How's your day? What are you doing? What's going on? What's the score? What's the plan? What's the deal?
It's 20 after 6 in the morning.
Yeah. That's when we do what we do.
I don't have a plan. Nothing is happening.
Why not? Other than it looked like you planned to sit in my chair.
Yeah.
It's a nice chair though, huh?
Yeah, it is.
Well, how do you feel about the...
I don't know how I feel about the anal beads.
They're not anal beads.
Or ass beads.
It's a beaded seat cushion.
Yeah.
Because then it has airflow.
Oh, so your bum doesn't get all sweaty.
So you don't get the swass.
The swass?
The swass.
Oh.
Well, I mean, less of the swass. This chair, on the other hand,
It's very uncomfortable.
this is your chair, though. I said, which chair do you want? And you said, that one.
No, I did not.
Mhm.
No.
Yeah, I remember. You calling me a liar?
I'm calling you remembering incorrectly.
I can't believe my own wife calling me a liar.
Only liars get this defensive.
You are calling me a liar.
I am not. Why are you picking on me?
I'm not. You're the one picking on me. You're stealing my chair. You're cutting me off with the coffee. You're fucking calling me a liar. You know your problem?
Folks, he's being a jerk.
I am not. Let's take a vote. Who is the jerk? They're going to side with you anyway because social media unfairly skews towards not white males. Yeah, I said it. Clearly, I'm the victim here. Did you hear Esquire released an article? It's like the first in a series of many about basically what it's like to grow up as a white male. Right? You know, with toxic masculinity and Me Too. And like all the things that are, whatever. And everybody like freaks out and it's like you guys are adding to it. you know? But it is a series of articles planned, like they're doing a bunch of different groups. But I don't know. Some of the people that freak out, I don't know. I'm sorry I brought it up. I didn't want to get this deep in the morning because I can't think straight. I can't make a good point.
I do find it interesting, though, because everyone says that white males have it easy, but...
That's what I remember growing up in my neighborhood.
But it's not true. Like,
Eating.
you guys have your own struggles that nobody seems to recognize or want to bring to light. But
to be blunt, it's our turn to get shit on.
it is.
And I get it. I get it. I mean, lots of other groups, whatever you want, however you want to divide everybody, which is, there's the problem.
Yeah.
It's like, let's divide people into how they look. And with step one, divide people up into groups of how they look. Step two, divide people up into groups of how they feel. And then all of a sudden nobody can get along. And so when you got a person in power who's damaging your country, and I'm actually not talking about America, I'm talking about us.
Yep.
And for me, I'm not talking like a political stance of which party is the best. I'm specifically talking about this guy.
Yes.
Is useless. He should have never been elected, but
anyways,
we fell for it. But because we're so divided between, oh, well, you know, this group looks the same, so we got to stick together. That group looks different than us. We have to shit on them. And everybody's like, yeah, that's the way it's been. And I'm like, yeah, but it's gone full circle now. And many groups have been shit on is a polite way to say it. And, you know, now it's our turn. I get it. It makes sense. But the problem is people don't realize, I think, that the real divide is actually a wealth class system. You know what I mean? Like, I think you can divide shit by...
Yeah, because if you grow up rich, doesn't matter what color your skin is or who you are,
Mm-hmm.
you have it easier. If you have a specific talent, like sports, like if you're a good football player.
Okay. I was not, but okay.
If you have money, or if your family has money.
Yeah, and don't forget good looking. Looks.
Yeah, if you
like
are...
not the color of or the blah, blah, blah. Good looking people get treated better.
Yes.
And some people try and shit on people just because they're good looking.
True.
And it's mainly people who aren't good looking. Yeah, I know, you had a point. You go ahead.
I forgot. Oh, so...
If you're good at sports.
Nowadays, that's how you have the privilege. Like that, those are the privileged people. The wealthy, good-looking, talented white males. But that's what the people see is...
That's what loud people on Twitter see.
Right. But if you look at somebody like hardworking, middle class, you know, not overly, or not like beautiful, not one of the beautiful people.
Okay.
You don't have those special privileges that everybody keeps thinking that white males have. It's back in the...
But
back
what
in the
privileges?
50s, but I think what everybody's still has stuck in their head is in the 50s, like that's the time era I'm going with.
Okay.
Males did have it easier because they had all the power. Men had the power because...
See, now here's the thing,
No,
okay?
wait,
No. Everybody's all like, oh man, they had it easier. It's like, yes, they had to go work, right? And back then, jobs, like the wage disparity between jobs wasn't as great as it is now. Mm-hmm. So almost everybody, you know, made a decent living. Yeah. Shit was cheaper. It was harder to go in debt, which debt is the number one thing crippling modern day society. But everybody's like, oh yeah, they had it easier. I don't think they did.
No, it's not that they had it easier. I'm not saying that they had it easier, but they had more privileges.
Everybody keeps talking about privilege. What privileges? Hey, you get to go work, right? Your wife does not have to, right? And everybody's like, right? But that was a thing.
Yes, but what I think people look at is the books that you see come out and how to treat your man, like, or how to properly treat your husband. Like those kind of things come out, and women were expected to live in this. Men were expected to live in this.
Well, and see, there's what I'm getting at. There was expectations. There was a very limited, like,
yes.
Like if you were a guy and you're like, I want to be an artist, almost everybody shit on you because why aren't you working?
And then you look at women and it's like, I want to go out and work, and everybody shit on them because why are
Right.
you getting married and having kids?
Right. Everybody was trapped in a certain norm, and every group thinks that every other group has it better. But the bottom line, I think, is excuses.
Well,
Everybody's making excuses. Like today, let's fast forward to today. Everybody has an excuse why. Here's what I really want to do with my life, but I can't because. And the number one reason you can't is you fucking didn't.
yeah. But that's...
Barring, like, yes, you can't go fucking play in the NFL if you suck at football. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
there's only so good you can get at certain things, but it's just, well, you know, I would be rich if it wasn't for the straight white man holding me back. If you want to be rich, go be rich. Fucking go to school and get one of those jobs where you become rich.
People have a misconstrued idea of what privileges are. Everybody looks at it, and because back then, who were the wealthy? Because that's all I'm talking about is the wealthy.
Okay.
Who were the
True.
wealthy?
The rich get richer, the poor get poorer. It's true.
But who were the wealthy? White men.
Yes, in a predominantly white country, white men.
But
Like the sample size is off.
and I'm not saying you're wrong.
Yeah, and
But
I'm
I'm
not
saying-
saying that there's not shitty white men who took advantage of being shitty white men.
There are shitty people in every group.
Right.
But that's what people are so focused on is back in the day, you know, these white men got away with it. These white men, it's like, no. Rich men got away
Rich
with it.
people get away with shit. It's just the way it is. Well, how come the economic blah, blah, blah. Economic, that was the word I was saying. But economic standing has been a bigger divider for anything. Rich kids get away with shit.
Yes.
It's just the way it is.
And in a society that is growing more culturally diverse, you look at the past, yes, the white rich men did get away with it, but that's because our culture was white then. It is becoming more diverse
Now-
as we progress, but that's everybody has it stuck in their head about how it used to be. Well, why are we focusing on how it used to be? Why don't we just keep moving with the times and just... There aren't as many rich white men. There aren't as many... there are, but
there are,
you know...
but there's more of everybody now.
Right. There is more...
Because there's more people on Earth.
But there, you know, the rich culture is changing. The middle class culture is changing. We're not just, you know, separated by color because, but like, this is gonna sound so bad, and I'm not racist, and I'm not trying to, but
the I'm not racist qualifier.
like, black people are a good example. Not in our city, but in a lot of other cities, is they are so focused and stuck in how they used to be treated that they don't stop and look at how things have progressed to see how they're not treated that way anymore. But they're so
For
stuck
the most
in
part, there are still people who are, obviously.
well, granted,
Right.
that's not going to change, but
Yeah.
I'm talking about the bigger picture.
Yeah. And
They're not treated like, because they're always so focused on how they're treated by the cops. Okay, there was a time when
even the police, where I think, right, the police will look at a poor person, somebody who obviously looks poor, or somebody who, like, I mean,
but everybody's
as somebody who's been on the poor side of life growing up, as somebody who's been unfairly profiled by police officers, as somebody who insert all the shit that everybody says happens, I'm like, that's happened to me. Oh, well, you know, white, blah, blah. No, it's happened. I'm not fucking crying about it. I've made my peace, and I just, like...
you learn from it, and that's what people don't understand, is everybody's looking at how they used to be treated. It's like, but things are getting better, and nobody wants to admit that. They want to hold on to.
And again, we're talking about the difference between the average person and the average person you see on Twitter or Facebook or social media, where first of all, if you're making 20 posts a day on how fair life is, it's because you have enough time.
Yes.
To make 20 posts a day on how fair life is. You know, like, and
things did have to change. Things did have to switch on how people were treated.
True. And I think the pendulum was, it was over here and it swung all the way over here. And now there's just this weird noise out there.
I agree. But nobody wants to open their eyes and see that, you're being treated overly fair.
Shit is better now.
It is.
Like, life is better now. And I know a lot of people want to come up and yada, yada, yada. And I'm tired of catering to those people because really, it's like anything, right? You hear on the news about all this. And then you go out into the real world and try and meet these people that are on the news. Or all these people freak out on Facebook about, all the injustices and whatever. And then you go out into the real world and try and see it. You know what I mean? But a lot of it is people are unhappy. And a lot of that comes from life's too fucking easy now. Compared to 20, 30 years ago, life is fucking easy.
But we watched that comedian.
Cool.
The one with the cyclist and what the hell, Sebastian?
Okay. Oh yeah.
And what did he say?
Why can't you just go to the gym and do you? It's like, cause that's what I like to do. I like to be bothered. And there's a lot of people who like to be bothered.
And that's today's society.
Yeah.
People like to be bothered. They look for that one incident that is overly unjust. And they focus on that and go, this is how it is for everybody.
But not just that, it's the confirmation bias. It's people go out searching. People basically go to I'mAlwaysRight.com, find a couple of interesting stats that they can memorize to back up their opinion, and then everybody's always right. And to an extent, we're doing it too. But, there's an old saying, which is funny that the atheist is going to quote, but, God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth, right? And social media, and I know everybody wants to put social media on this pedestal as the devil, but really it's not. Like my good friend Gary Vee says, social media is not changing us, it's exposing us. And people who are